kind of socks are those?
Dollar store socks.
Hey, you got Echo socks on. I've never seen.
No, these are just from the ABC.
That's just looking
oh, wow,
colorful.
they are Echoes.
Wow.
That's from the ABC store,
Mark
actually.
Echo.
Yeah.
I don't know if those are official Echo.
No, they can't be. They were $2.
Those aren't Echo colors.
They were, I think, $2.99. They were $1 a pair, so 3 pairs were $3.
Wow.
I
I
got
thought
6
this neighborhood
pairs.
was all Hanes.
I couldn't get the Hanes.
Oh, well.
Dude, the ABC store don't really got Hanes. I need to get the Hanes.
Yeah.
The thing I don't like messing with, the thing I always got to go Hanes with, or Fruit of the Loom underwear. I ain't doing no RDX. You ever see those?
Yeah.
Oh,
Uline.
you can't even walk right.
Yeah. What's that one cheap brand of underwear?
Gildan?
Yeah. Gildan.
Gildan?
Yeah, that's when you know you're in the struggle.
Yep. It's like, and then they got it on the name brand like you want people to see.
Well, yeah, exactly. It feels like it's like, the underwear doesn't even feel new when you put it on.
The underwear is the biggest investment. I'll be honest with you. I'll spend $25 on underwear, and I'll spend $7 on pants.
Socks are such a big, it really does change your mood.
Socks and underwear.
It can fuck up your whole day.
You ever doing real good in life and you get those $20 Nike socks? Man,
Yeah.
just putting those things on, don't you feel good?
Oh, yeah. The first time. Especially
Yeah.
like the thick wool socks, the camping
Yeah.
socks and stuff. Yeah.
It's all nice on your feet.
That's living.
Yeah.
So, what else did the doctor say today?
Basically that, and then, from when I used to wash cars, one of my toenails turned white. You seen it, right? I can't seem to get rid of it. The last doctor gives me pills for it. Then this doctor's like, yeah, he goes, I can't give you those because, it swelled up your liver. That's what it does. You got to, take gear breaks.
Wow.
So, I don't know. Dude, I've had this for 20 years, like a white toenail.
Wow. Well, the only reason is there actually pain or anything, or is it just?
It's just, it doesn't feel good. I mean, sometimes it feels weird, I guess. I don't know.
Wow.
So he told me the old school remedies. He's like, he told me, he goes, believe it or not, my grandmother's remedy's the best one. I never thought a doctor would say this. He said baking soda and vinegar. Then he's going to give me an ointment too to put on it. But he's like, yeah, other than that, it's laser or we could just cut it off.
Wow.
It won't grow back.
What ethnicity was this guy?
He was Spanish.
His grandma probably knows what's up.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's what. As soon as he said, dude, once he threw in a couple Spanish words, I knew. I was like, dude, he knows what's up.
Yeah, if he was either Colombian or Nigerian or something, and they talk about their grandma, it's like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, you're right. I'll cut a chicken.
Oh, I'm surprised that that it was vinegar. You would think it would be some sort of crushed up leaves or something.
Baking. Yeah, I thought dandelions or something.
Yeah.
But it's actually
Sea
baking
moss.
soda. Yeah, it's 1 tablespoon of baking soda. We gotta hit the dollar store. I gotta get some Tupperware. I gotta soak my feet. I never had to do that. We'll see what happens. But 1 tablespoon of baking soda and 4 tablespoons of white vinegar.
Wow. And now you're just supposed to leave it in there for a
And
while?
warm water. I guess I don't got time for all that.
I mean, it's not like it's going to, cure your toe, though, right? It's just going to eat off the...
Yeah, I don't know. He just said that with the ointment for 4 months.
Wow.
He said then if that don't work, we'll try laser. And if laser don't work, then maybe we'll do the pill again, or they'll just downright cut it off completely, which I don't want that.
I feel like so much of this stuff, even with the Rogaine stuff, it's you got to think risk reward. How much are you willing to put up with? Because versus how much stuff can go wrong.
Well, I don't know what could go wrong with the toenail infection.
You end up fucking cutting it off. Think it's infected or something?
Well, not my toe, but the nail.
Even if just imagine living with no nail.
I know. I don't want that.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah, dude. I would soak it for 8 months before I lose my nail.
I would just live with a white toe, man.
No, you can't
You got a
have
story
an
about it.
You have a story. It's an infection in your
Man,
body,
you're not
though.
going to believe it. Shit was wild back in the day.
Yeah, I was washing
From
cars.
from the Clinton administration.
Dude, that was from the Clinton administration, actually.
Yeah.
That's back when I got it.
Damn.
I was washing cars. Everybody's like, I don't care what he did with Lewinsky. I made more money this year.
Wow.
How much money did you make when Clinton was president?
I don't know. Those are good years, though.
Yeah, that's when the Pontiac Grand Prix was out, or the Grand Am.
You could just walk onto the plane.
Remember those 03 Grand Ams?
Yeah.
Everybody had them.
Yeah.
Clinton.
Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Yeah, those were big.
Yeah, the stripper car.
Yeah, that was
So-
all Clinton.
It was like when you're in the car wash, you just spilled something on your foot.
No, I just always had wet feet for 10 years.
Oh, weird.
So you can't, we would have bags on our feet, cleaning at chemical floors. I scrub floors there at night.
Wow.
So, it's all that stuff just on your feet for years and
You
years.
spend a whole day with wet feet?
Yeah, for my
Socks
whole
and
life,
everything?
yeah.
Ah, that's disgusting.
Yep. We would change our socks, but our shoes would be soaked. You're working at a car wash. I mean, you're going to get wet feet.
Wow. You would think they would have some sort of boots for you or something.
I tried wearing boots. It slowed us down a lot, and they still got wet. Dude, you're just in water all day.
Hey, it really makes you think.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that.
All the soldiers out there.
Breathing in chemicals, it's crazy, dude. People were getting sick in our shop, and these people came in, white gloves, everything, and threw every single chemical away in the whole shop.
Wow.
And got all green, fresh stuff. Like, just in case there was, like, any lawsuits or anything.
Ah, yeah. Well, you have no idea what any of that chemicals were.
I wish I could go back and read those cans. I don't even know what we had. I mean, it was
Yeah.
a big problem. They took all the stuff off the market. I mean, I know it wasn't good.
Well, maybe that might be what's killing your head, right?
I don't know. That's a good question, too.
Yeah, you never know. That's probably some sort of like.
The doctor told me the increase in hair loss is crazy because of the pandemic. He goes, stress causes a lot of hair loss. And he's like, I've been a doctor for like 30 years. And he's like, I noticed this is the most I've seen, like,
Oh, wow.
people coming in over hair loss.
Jeez.
And he was telling me, he goes, those hair transplant things don't even work. He's like, I've known so many patients that went to Turkey, even Bosley, and they did it, and it will last maybe 3 or 4 years, but it's inevitable. It's gonna fall out.
It just doesn't seem like it would be that easy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I get why it's like attractive in terms of like what you're watching TikTok videos or something, but there's no way something like this works this well.
Well, honestly, anything that swells your head up that much, it's like, dude, have you seen these people's heads?
Nah.
They have to tie their head down. The doctors make them wear a super tight headband just to keep it from blowing up too much. And you could see the
It
curvature.
expands the actual.
Google, honestly, if we could put that on the pod
like
for our,
the skin of the head.
dude, the head swells up.
I mean, it's
like,
not your skull, right? It's just like the actual outside of your.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It may be your skull. I really don't know.
Wow.
But dude, when you see these heads, it's like hematomas, dude, like UFC
Wow.
type stuff. Like, dude, massive, 4 inches aside. It looks fake.
That's like a successful.
Yeah, that's just normal. That's what happens.
Wow.
So they give you a super tight headband, and it actually changes the shape of your head. You'll see people, I'm still a big head. They said 1 more month.
Wow.
It takes like a month for your brain to go down, like your head to swelling to be normal. It's massive, dude.
How is this even like? People know this going in. They
Yeah,
still do it.
you got to look at it, dude. Look these people up. They'd be
Wow.
like, as you could tell, had a reaction. Dude, their heads are swole. Yeah, I just want to squeeze
There
it.
needs to be just a movement in this country. Somebody's got to just make like a commercial that just shows like 10 to 15 guys who look fine with bald heads.
Well,
And just like, it's perfectly acceptable.
I was watching the old SNLs back in the day. All those guys were bald. It was like Bill Murray, like,
It's just
what's
what
the
you
one
did.
dude from Animal House? They were all bald
Yeah,
and
Jim
funny.
Belushi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cut it kind of short, or you don't. Or you're just like
Well,
a funny bald guy.
Why did people get more bald in the 30s like that? Like, they were 30 years old in the 70s. I bet you these guys were
that was
30.
pre-Rogaine.
Yeah.
That was what people did before in the 70s.
Wow.
In the 80s, before you could take a pill for it, you would just, you get old.
And they never ate enough back then.
I don't think that affects your hair. But
I
it's
don't
just
know,
like,
dude. If you're real malnourished, just smoking cigarettes, doing,
it doesn't help. But I mean, like, that's just what guys looked like back in those days.
Yeah, they looked a lot older.
Yeah, but it's not like there was like less dudes getting laid in the 70s or something.
Yeah.
It was just like you could accept it.
Look at Chevy Chase. He was bald back then. Women loved him.
Yeah, look at The Rock.
Yeah, that's a different story, though.
Yeah, The Rock's bald.
I know, but he's also a massive wrestler.
Yeah, but like there are ways you could look at The Rock and I'll give you 10 words to describe this man. You're not even going to say bald.
Yeah,
It
you're
won't
right.
even come up.
Yeah.
You just look past it.
He was good at distracting
Andrew
people.
Tate.
Yeah.
This guy's every 13-year-old's hero. This man is completely bald.
Maybe I should just skin it back.
Yeah. Well, the only problem is that like you got to go all in. You got to own it. Whatever it is you got going on, you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna try to trick people and I'm gonna just stand like this. I'm gonna cut it to the side, and it's like that. That's when you look weird.
I'll tell you, I don't want to be bald just for the sweating factor. There's nowhere to catch your sweat. I gotta get one of those white towels.
Yeah.
If
but
I go bald,
it's just like you're glistening.
But can you imagine doing stand up? I'd have to get one of those. I'd have to get one of those towels in a big suit.
Yeah.
I would need it. Wipe my head.
Hey, you look shiny.
Yeah, people grew up different in the 70s.
Yeah, we just woo. You got about 30 minutes into your set, you just pick up the towel like, whoa, y'all got me sweating.
Do some crowd work. Where'd you get them carnival hat at?
Y'all got me working.
Man, tough crowd.
Working up here. Yeah. I think like the problem for you is that like you aren't even close to the level where you would actually want to go straight up Bic razor.
People tell me all the time on TikTok I am though. They say shave it off, give it up.
That's not even close to like give it up range. You still got at least 4 or 5 years before it's like, oh, this is a problem.
Yeah, I appreciate you making me feel good. Maybe I'll get that powder and put it in there.
Well, you still got a little bit of comb over time too.
Yeah.
Before it becomes like, too see-through.
You get the angles right though, it's pretty see-through.
That's
the only thing.
Maybe we just got to make sure you perform in venues that don't have certain kinds of lights.
I just wish there was a list. Wouldn't it be cool if there was a list of entertainers that you knew that were on Rogaine? So you could be like, are they taking I mean, what do you think the side effects really are for Rogaine? I was all excited. And
I mean, it is like, I think it's like, it's definitely hormonal, whatever it is that they trigger, Because it's like the way your hair loss happens is from like hormones.
Oh, I just thought it was just some magic cream.
There is no magic. None of this stuff is ever magic unless it's like completely from the earth and it's like, you're getting, green juice or something. Then none of this stuff is actually magical.
Is a biotin pill really something? Or you can't trust vitamins like that?
I take vitamins.
But you never know what name brand to take.
Well, I think vitamins themselves, it's like for very basic stuff, vitamin D.
Yeah, but you ever, on TikTok, they're always like, oh, look what happens when you put this vitamin in water, or don't buy Centrex or whatever, like Centrum.
I think that's just people on TikTok. That's just TikTok for you. But like none of this stuff, there's no way that whatever the mechanism of Rogaine, it's not like it's like, you're not going to find Rogaine growing on a tree.
Yeah.
And you rub it in your head. This all comes from some fucking lab.
Should I just try biotin first?
Is that what the doctor said?
No, but my barber told me biotin works. I mean, I don't know. The doctor said, he was like, dude, I use Rogaine. Go for it. I get laid all the time. Oh, wow. Doctor was pretty cool. You know how them Spanish doctors are.
I mean, maybe it's like, I'm not going to argue with your doctor, but I still think that there's definitely like, there's going to be a down. There's nothing in life's free. There's always going to be, the other shoe's going to drop at some point.
Yeah. He told me, he's like, I wouldn't even put you on the pill. He's like, I don't prescribe it to anybody.
Wow.
He said it could cause permanent erectile dysfunction, irreversible.
That's the one that you always hear about.
But irreversible. Did you know that? It's not like you just take the pill and
it's
you're
the way
better.
that, like, the same way that, like, people take ecstasy and their brain gets fried forever.
Yeah.
You lose your receptors or whatever. That's once you put too much in your body, things get, haywire.
I met somebody that was way too fried on ecstasy. Then they went into the military.
Yeah. Well, they lose their serotonin receptors or whatever.
Yeah, they told me they had holes in their brain. I was like, all right, well, I think this date's over. We were making shadow animals for like 4 or 5 hours, and I'm like, this girl's really into this. She's just having a blast. She's like,
the fact that she's still having fun with it. I guess.
Yeah,
clearly her brain's not completely
then
fried.
we started talking. She's like, you want to do some X? I'm like, no. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, I got to do it. She goes, it makes me happy.
I mean, it's the same thing when we were talking about like taking protein powder. It's like, it's probably good to have protein, but it's like whatever's in there.
I say the same thing.
That
People will argue with you.
That is not like, I don't know what I'm not going to say that's going to poison you, but there is some ingredient in there. You don't know what it is.
I'm saying the same thing.
Nobody really knows what it's doing.
I always tell people that. They're like, dude, it's protein. I'm like, yeah, dude, what's in it? Like, do you know what's in there? I don't use protein powder, and people tell me, dude, a shake a day. You can't even read half the names on there. I got a buddy who just
feels
lives
bad, too. Whenever I've ever done it in the past, it's like I feel weird.
Something ain't normal with it.
But it's just like, if you're going to go bald, go bald. If you want protein, eat some chicken.
Right.
Get some eggs. We don't gotta
I'm the same way.
go to GNC, get this big ass tub of.
Vegans are the ones they're always trying to get their protein in.
Yeah.
You know, they try to eat like what's tofu? Like I don't. Is that even
soy?
like what is that good for you? People eat blocks of tofu.
I mean, it's not. It's good for you in terms of like. There's no cholesterol or anything. But then also like if you're eating too much soy, your system gets kind of out of whack.
Those people hit like 2-3 protein shakes a day. I'm like, I can't even keep up with you.
It's all that like pea protein, and they're like eating beans or something.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like it's just ground up vegetables. I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
Isn't spinach like I thought spinach had high protein?
It's vegetables. It's not like high protein, but it's like you can get enough. Most people don't need this much protein to actually be healthy.
Well, they say
you need protein if you're trying to like build muscle and be
Yeah.
like a big dude, but that's not like necessarily a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. Cause dude, I never hit a gram per pound. 178 pounds.
You get like blocked up.
178 grams. You're punching the floor when you're going doo doo,
Yeah.
crying.
There's no way that it's actually like a healthy lifestyle.
And people say you can't drink coffee with that. If you're eating a lot of protein, be careful with the coffee. You'd be shitting gravel.
See all these like little trade-offs. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Whatever they say, I'm sure there's something like that with hair loss stuff or whatever. It's like if you take this, you got to make sure you always have 7 cups of water before this time. And it's like
There's a dude at my gym. He's always trying to sell roids. Like he hit me up once like 4 months ago, but I just seen him again. And dude, when you talk side effects of roids, it's real.
Oh my God.
Like,
Yeah,
dude, you can see hair's all thin. He's yelling at people. Dude's jacked, stretch marks on his biceps, pimples everywhere.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't notice any of the side effects. I'm like, I do.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen the dude. It's insane, but the dude got jacked.
At what price though?
Right.
Was this worth it?
He's big as hell,
With
though.
he's not telling you the drawbacks, but there are clearly drawbacks.
I'd say he was repping 245 on the bench.
Oh, well.
Yeah, just banging it out, all big.
But you just don't. Can you imagine that sustaining for like 10 years?
No.
10 years in the future, imagine what that guy's going to look like.
Right.
It's going to be weird.
Hair's gone.
Something wasn't, not even that, but like this your muscles are going to like, I don't know, something's going to get out of whack.
Yeah, you would think. Yep, dude's got the acne. 40 years old with acne.
Yeah. Your back is all pimpled out and shit and like.
Yeah, I know people just I've always been more of a whole food type of person. Like, give me the actual foods. I'm not eating like these little chocolate protein bars.
Yeah.
Or you see these cookies, the 2 cookies, you're supposed to share it with 2.5. The complete cookie, it's 2 guys
gross.
on it.
Yeah.
Those were huge for the longest. Like, I don't know if it's like a meal replacement.
Vegan cookie.
Yeah, it's unhealthy as hell. It serves 2.5. It's like 900 calories.
It's all chewy and shit.
Yeah, it's just a block of whey protein.
It's like
probably.
gummy. Yeah, it's disgusting.
2 people on the cover.
Just eat some fucking chicken.
Yeah. I ate today. I mean, I'll be honest. I had a cup of white rice. I don't know if like just a cup of rice is bad a day. Like compared to what I went from eating like 4 or 5 pizzas and burgers, I feel like I need some sort of carb.
The thing with all health stuff, in my opinion, you can tell if it's working if you feel better.
Right.
Do you
and
feel
I feel
better?
great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you feel good, then it's working. If you feel bad, then something's not adding up.
I feel the same way when you hold like a rap CD and you hold like a ball of yarn or like or something like nice,
Right?
Like something positive.
But it's like, all right, if you spend an hour scrolling on TikTok watching people being pissed off, do you feel more pissed off now?
Right.
Probably
no, I
you
do. It gets to my emotions.
It gets to everybody's emotions. That's why it's so addictive. But it's like people go on these diets where it's like I only eat this food at this time every single day. I always have a plum and this and that. I ate exactly 9 almonds.
Yeah.
And it's like it's going to be the first week I felt horrible, but then I started. It's like no, your body's telling you this is no good.
Yeah, like you see those people that have apple cider vinegar before each meal. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's bad for your teeth. Oh, you did it?
I've tried it. Yeah.
What's that do exactly?
You feel like it
just makes you not want to eat. That's the
burns
first Ozempic.
It burns your stomach up. Yeah, I don't trust it.
People lose weight on Ozempic to where it's insane though. 60 pounds in a month.
But you feel like shit though.
Right.
You're
all
like
sick.
You're sick and you're like all droopy.
Yeah, you are droopy.
But it's like when people
Start
are
slouching.
like, if you go on like plant-based diet, people go vegan, and it's like if you do it right and you're eating a lot of fruits and vegetables and stuff, within 3 days you feel great. You feel way better.
Yeah.
But if you're 3 days later and you feel all irritable and you're like your stomach hurts, it's like, yeah, you're doing something wrong.
I'm always on the fence if I should cut meat out. You know, I've always been, because I feel if I eat a salad, dude, I got energy all day.
Exactly. I think you can, every single diet you ever go on, you can always tell within 3 days if this is a good idea or not.
Yeah.
'Cause if you feel better, then it's like this is clearly a good path to go down. But it's like your body never lies to you
Yeah.
in terms of if you're doing something right.
Like if you're eating 20 egg whites a day and pounding leg press,
Yeah.
who knows? You know, that's a different life.
But it's like, that's fucking, your stomach's got to be burning.
Right.
And
Oh, yeah, you see those weightlifters with that bloat? You ever see them?
Yeah.
They got a six-pack, but they look 9 months pregnant.
And they're just tired all the time.
Yeah.
It's like they have like the 0 carb diet.
Pissed off.
Or it's like, it's all just broccoli and chicken and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good. You got to just trust your own instincts on these things. If somebody just gave you a pill and you just looked at it and they didn't even tell you what it did and you were just looking at it, it's like you wouldn't take it.
If I was 18, maybe I would have made that mistake.
But if they didn't tell you that, this is going to make you feel good, you just see a pill on a table, you would think, no, there's no way I'm taking that.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know.
I used to be 17 and 16, and GNC, they don't ID you. I remember they would sell me all kinds of shit, like weight loss pills, hydroxycut, and you're like, your heart's beating, you feel a little tick in your neck, and you just keep taking it. You're like, this should work. I could eat chips now.
It's no good. Even like when I eat like fast food and stuff, I don't feel that bad.
Wendy's makes me feel bad.
If you eat I feel like if I eat like a crazy amount, then I feel bad.
Yeah.
If I just have a burger, cheeseburger or something, it's like I don't feel that bad afterwards. I don't think it's people exaggerate how bad this stuff actually is for you.
Yeah, I eat a big triple Wendy's with the fries and nuggets and a milkshake. I felt terrible, but I overdid it.
That's tough. But just like a chicken sandwich,
yeah,
I don't think it's that bad. God is telling you something. Sometimes it's just, the message is just you got to let go.
Did you ever want to do one of those week fasts you always see? They reset your system.
I've done the 48 hour, just like
2 days,
just like water fast.
Like Ramadan.
You just drink water. Ramadan, you don't drink anything, which is like I don't think that's probably too much for me. But like I've done it where you just don't eat for a couple of days. You do feel good.
Wow.
The first day is a little bit, you're just used to eating a lot, but that second day, it's like it flies by, and then you just wake up on that third day with energy.
I need to bust that out one day.
I think you could probably do it like when you're on the ship or something.
Yeah.
Right? It's like when you just don't got. The problem is like if you actually have physical stuff to do that day, then it's like it's a wash.
Yeah, you're right.
You're not
do it on
you're
the
not
ship.
getting up and moving or anything. But yeah, I got too much stuff to do. I can't be.
Yeah, I started passing out. I remember I tried to diet when I was putting in swimming pools, man. I wouldn't eat. The dude was like, I told you to eat, dude. He's like, what are you going to do now, dude? It was the worst. It was like 100 degrees, and I was just, for some reason, I was like, let me start a diet today when I need food the most. And I was trying to fast and work putting in these damn swimming pools. I quit.
Oh, man.
I was seeing spots. I was like, done.
It's wild in this neighborhood. It's Ramadan right now. So if you get like a bacon, egg, and cheese by these guys, and they can't eat or drink water from sun up to sundown.
Yeah.
And they're just over the fucking grill, flipping over eggs, bacon. These kids are like 12 years old. How are they doing it?
That's gotta be so hard.
That is, I can't believe how much discipline this takes.
And they really don't drink water. It's crazy they're that religious. Like that's religion.
I remember. I always thought it was just the food, but yeah, not drinking water is crazy.
Yeah,
that's got to be so intense.
In the summer too.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It's not the summer, but yeah, the fact that you still got to go to work and your job is cooking eggs. That's got to be intense.
And a lot of them, they're like, it's at 7:00 it ends, right? Like whenever it gets dark.
It's like the sundown.
So you turn them clocks back. They were probably pissed.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It was getting dark at 4:30. It wouldn't be as bad. You wake up at 2.
I don't know. I could do the food part, but yeah, everything else.
I don't know what's that even do? Like, do you know anything about that? Like, that's how they get into their heaven, or?
I think it does put you in kind of a spiritual mood. It's just sort of like you do appreciate every. I'm sure that when you first break that fast at 7 o'clock, that's got to feel good.
You see the lines, dude, at the they closed down. Ever see the restaurants? People are lined up. It's only for them.
Yeah.
They got like big trays.
But that's
of
definitely
food.
got to make you closer to God. But it's
Yeah.
like I'm finally putting some water in my system, and it's like I'm sure it wakens you up.
It makes you appreciate it. How long do they do that till? Easter?
I think it's a couple weeks or something.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've never seen anybody like slip up. If just like regular Americans had to do that, if everybody,
We ain't doing it.
that's a no-go.
We eat the fried fish thing on Fridays. Like a lot of Catholics do that, to where they don't eat meat Fridays. They just eat. It's like, but you're eating fried fish everywhere. It's like that's gonna get you in heaven even quicker.
You
really.
go into McDonald's every Friday.
Right. Let me get a fish sandwich. That's really the truth. That's what they're doing.
I think that was probably just started by McDonald's.
It probably,
Yeah.
dude. I just found out Christmas was pretty much started by Coca-Cola.
Yeah, we
Like,
talked about that.
oh yeah, yesterday. It still blows my mind.
Man.
The birthplace of Coca-Cola. It's crazy. The dude was trying to kick heroin. That's why he invented it. He didn't know the war was over.
I bet someday it's going to be like the way Coca-Cola made Christmas. It's going to be Amazon Prime Day. It's just going to be a holiday.
Yeah.
Everybody in the country, they're going to get Amazon Prime Day off, so you can go home and shop.
They'll rewrite the Bible.
There's going to be kids that are just yelling at their parents like, Mom, you didn't get me anything for fucking Amazon Prime Day. What kind of parents are you?
God created us for Amazon Prime Day.
You're just going to go in my
You'll
room
see.
and do some drugs now.
They'll find a chapter in for like one of those Bibles in Spain. You ever been to Spain? They got them. That's why I thought Christianity started over there. They got them old Bibles from like 1100.
Yeah. Well, there's like old monks that are rewriting things.
And
by
they're
hand.
huge. First off, the Bible is the size of it's about 10 feet long. Like it's that big. The book's about 10 feet by 5 feet.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this is huge. Maybe 90,000 pages. And it's like, what did they put? Like, you did 4 people to pick it up. And I'm like, so what's in these little Bibles now? Like, there's no way.
Well,
because the writing was small then, too.
Oh, right. Well, I think a lot of it, too, was written by hand. So I think if you mess up, you can't just cross it out.
You just draw a picture of a fish or something.
Well, I think you just got to write it again.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, my bad.
It was beautiful artwork. All the words colored. Like, they spent lifetimes making these things. Like, the letters. Every letter has special design.
Oh, well.
But yeah, like I got a video somewhere. Maybe I'll have to post it. But some of these Bibles are crazy.
Well, I think they did that because instead of making it portable, they wanted you to have to go to a place.
Oh.
Where it's like, no, you got to come here.
So they'd
you
add
gotta
a
read
lot
this
of
like big novelty Bible. Yeah.
Probably they could have said we went to the store, but instead they said when we all gathered together to go to a place to find things of offerings.
Well, the thing with those monks, nobody knew how to read back then.
Wow.
So you had to just trust that this one priest or monk was like, he'd be the guy who knows how to read in like the entire country.
Wow.
So everybody has to come see him.
I wonder how many of them didn't know how to read.
Right. Well, I think it was just like back in those days, the Bible was the only book there was to read anyways.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder when somebody else after like 1,000 years was like, let's write something else too.
Yeah, let's have some fun.
Let's just write a book about going camping.
Yeah. Huckleberry Finn. Yeah. What about that?
Oh, man. Yeah, you know what book I want to read, honestly? The Gatsby, because the movie was great.
Great Gatsby?
Yeah.
You didn't read it?
No, I don't remember, but I mean, I was there for most of the days, probably.
It's a classic. Yeah, it's like one of the high school books.
I remember we had to read it in school. I would time out my sick days, so like I knew we had to read them. Like I'm calling off.
Wow.
Because it's like I didn't know how to read. Like this is like before slow classes, and then when they put me in those classes, they would never dare to try to make us read out loud. It would be a lot of charades going on if they were.
That'd be so funny. Imagine that there's like a TV show about your life, and we do a flashback. And the teacher was trying to give you a book that's called like, here's what Rogaine does.
Yeah.
This 12-year-old Dom's like, fuck that. I'm not reading the book.
Yeah.
That shit's gay.
Yeah. Who needs, I ain't never going to need Rogaine. My hair was so thick I couldn't even brush it. And everybody'd be like, I love your hair. It was like a big afro. And I used to say, I hate it. I wish it'd be thinner. And then that came true.
Wow.
Yep.
Makes you think, huh?
It really does.
Yeah, if you could just go back in a time machine.
I would have been like, I wish my hair's always thick.
Well, yeah, I think it would have things still would have evened out for you. So even back then, you were really like, did you ever go back to reading at all?
Yeah, when I got into comedy, one kid, he started a little after me, and then he was just getting the hang of it out of nowhere, and it's like he was writing good jokes like consistently, and I was like, dude, how did you learn like how to write like these good jokes like that? And he was like, easy, from reading comedy books. So I went back and read every single I probably read every single how-to comedy book there was. Like, so then I realized, I could read,
It's just words on the page.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing to be scared of here.
My problem with reading was I had to keep reminding myself to pay attention. Like, I would just be reading and get through 3 pages and not know one thing I read.
Yeah.
So I'd have to go back always and reread that paragraph or really try to break it down. Like, okay, the rule's of 3 here.
Wow.
Yeah, something exaggerated in the joke.
Wow. You ever do audiobooks?
Yeah, a little bit. I get bored with them. I was doing
goofy.
on the plane. I was doing the Napoleon Think and Go Rich Napoleon Hill audiobook.
Yeah.
I just like the way the dude speaks. He uses those old words.
What's if it's like a nice, kindly old man?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he got those little, those words that people still used in the 40s.
They start telling you about your destiny.
Yeah. So that was cool.
No, the audiobooks are the problem. Is that like sometimes, especially if it's like a novel, they're telling you a story, and it's like they got to make a decision about whether they're going to do a different voice.
Yeah.
Whenever they're doing like a female character or like a baby or something.
Yeah.
So it's just a regular story, and all of a sudden they just break into fucking this weird vaudeville act.
I like when they really tone it up, like when they about the Raven. Yeah, those are good. I mean, that's a job for people. I knew people that were getting paid to read audiobooks.
One time on TaskRabbit, this girl was she was studying for the bar exam. Mm-hmm. She was a lawyer, trying to become a lawyer. She paid me to like sit next to her. She was laying in bed, and I had to read her law school textbook out loud.
Wow.
For like an hour, while she like kind of slept.
Laying in bed.
Yeah.
Where were you?
I was sitting next to the bed.
Oh, dude, I think she had something else in mind, Dan. You missed the cues there.
No, she was literally just on her bed, like she was looking at Instagram, and then she was just sort of sleeping. But she said that she learned better by she was like an auditory.
That's just a person that really don't want to study.
Yeah, she was paying me like $50 an hour. I remember there was a part where she's at one point she like kind of fell asleep, so I was like, all right, I guess I'll leave. And then she's like, no, wait, no. She popped up like, no, keep reading.
Was there any words in there you had trouble with?
Not really. It was boring.
So like you could pretty much read any word you look at?
I mean, it's law school. It's not like it's every once in a while you hit some weird like Latin word, but you don't get like,
What was like a word, anything stand out?
It's very boring. That's the thing. I could see why I shouldn't like study it, but it was so funny because like, I don't know if you ever read out loud for like an extended period of time.
Yeah, you get real monotone.
Well, your throat starts to burn. And I'm not used to reading after like 20, 30 minutes. You really are in pain.
Yeah.
And you're reading this really boring textbook. And this girl is asleep.
It's crazy that, people could take the bar as many times as they want. No girl that failed it like 8 times. She just passed. It's been like 12 years, and her company kept her working there. She's an entertainment lawyer.
It goes to show most of these lawyers, they'll let pretty much anybody in.
Right.
I've never known anybody who wanted to become a lawyer who couldn't do it.
Yeah, everybody might take you a little longer.
Yeah, everybody gets through eventually, but it's like nobody who hires the lawyer, once they give you that certificate to put on the wall, the certificate doesn't say how many times she took the bar.
Right.
Yeah, she just passed it at some point.
And honestly, all it says is this person gets homework done.
Yeah.
Like, that's what a lawyer is. That's what I wouldn't want. I mean, now, it'd be crazy to be doing some real cases. Like, I couldn't imagine you're on the murder case and you got to look at tire marks and, call witnesses, and then you're really working. But if it's just some bullshit entertainment stuff, it's like, look, what amount of money are you paying to end this? Like,
yeah, I mean, 90% of law is just like somebody reading like a apartment lease, some weird real estate stuff or something.
But what's crazy is they specialize in different things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so do you have to take a different bar? That's just a blanket thing.
No, you take the bar, but like to actually make money as a lawyer, you have to specialize in like environmental law It's like it's just like YouTube or something. You got to pick your niche.
Yeah.
You can't just be a general guy. You got to be
Wow.
like the dog bite, the guy
Yeah.
who who prosecutes dogs or something.
I wonder which ones are the most lucrative. It's always those slip and fall ones
Personal
you
injury.
see. Yeah, dude, it's the commercials. I would hate to be on one of those. I would feel like a scumbag.
Well, those checks start coming in.
I just seen one, and they're telling you, they're like, a motorcycle injury. He got it's like the lawyer's showing you. He got $900,000. Slip off a roof. He got $500,000. They never show the people that got hurt. It's like,
Right.
it's all fun and games, but what's the motorcycle guy look like now?
Yeah.
Why don't you show him so I see, is it worth me falling off a roof for the money?
Right. Well, I mean, those injury, it seems kind of scammy, but it's like until you actually get hurt, it's like, yeah, you gotta sue Whole Foods.
But there's people that ruin it for. I worked with this guy, man, and he used to beg us to. Once he found out there was no cameras in there, because we'd be lighting fires in the shop, and the boss would try to tell us hey, we're watching the cameras, and we'd think, dude, you would have fired us a long time ago. Trust me. And so they hired this guy, and he was older. He's like, yeah, he got fired from one of those high end jobs.
Yeah.
And he was 58, and these big companies, nobody was hiring him. It was like some consulting thing. He had to go to detailing cars with us.
Wow.
And he hated it. He's like, man, I did it before consulting, and he's like, I just can't keep up. And he's like, listen, he goes, if I threw you some money, if I disconnected that cord, can you just drop this door on my back, the garage door?
Yeah.
And he did it, and we all lied. We were like, yeah, we didn't see it, dude. He was so pissed. I didn't want to lose my job.
So he didn't actually get to go through with it then?
No, but he tried. He dropped that garage door right on his back.
Wow.
And nobody stood up for him.
Man.
Because nobody had pressed the button. So he pressed it himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's a lot unless he's really spreading this payment out.
Right.
Because it's what do I have to gain to lie on your behalf?
You know what's funny? You ever see these people that think there's no cameras, and then they're lying about what they did, and it's so obvious that there's a camera? You catch them. Dude, that murder case with that dude from the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, so
you see all the camera footage, him leaving his place.
There is nowhere doesn't have cameras now.
It's like, bro, you're guilty.
Yeah, all those Ring cameras are always filming.
Plus, in general, even people out in public, sometimes, if I'm with a group of people and somebody's an asshole, you got to avoid it. You don't want to get singled out with that guy.
Yeah, of course. The worst kind of lawsuit, I think the most lucrative one is dog bite.
Really?
Yeah, because you don't got. I think someone explained the law to me one time when I was taking a class where it's you don't have to prove. I can't remember what the word is. You don't have to prove that the person was negligent or that they did it on purpose. The dog just bites you, and you can pretty much win every lawsuit.
Wow.
So you just gotta but I think you always got to make sure that the person you're suing is deep pockets.
Yeah.
So I think if you're just walking around a rich neighborhood and someone's got some big ass pit bull dog, stuff some steaks in your pocket.
Wow. Can you maybe get some Kevlar or something? I'd hate to actually get bit.
Well, I think you got to prove that there's some damages.
I wouldn't want to risk it, dude. Hits a nerve. You're dragging your right foot the rest of your life.
Hey, you do what you got to do, though. I mean, there's cost to everything.
That could be our next video. Here's an easy way to make money. Walk around in a rich neighborhood and get bit by a dog.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, by the way, you might cause irreversible nerve damage.
No, you might not.
Yeah.
Yeah, this might be your ticket out.
It's like playing roulette, put 50 on black.
That'd be so funny if we just overlay the footage with some of those Eric Thomas motivational videos. How bad do you want it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you say you want to be rich. All right, now it's time to prove it.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to get bit by a pit bull. I mean, you're better off with a little dog, a 5-stitcher.
That's not going to do any damage, though.
I mean, you'll be bleeding. Trauma, PTSD.
Nah. It's got to be one of those big ass dogs.
Yeah.
Dobermans.
A pinscher, you think?
Yeah. The big ass Snoop Dogg looking dogs.
Did you ever been bit though? It hurts like a bitch.
Yeah,
I got bit walking dogs.
Oh, well.
I mean, they made us sign a waiver.
Was it a big dog or?
I've been bit 3-4 times, all different sizes. One was this like a melancholy. I couldn't believe how hard it bit me. Or I don't know if it was a mix. It was about 40-pounder, but little sharp mouth, man. On
It just like locks in.
it just nipped me and got me. I think it got me somewhere on my arm.
There
It got
you
me
go.
good.
Yeah, they could see on your arm. Yeah.
I've got my fingers bit before. I've been bit in the ass like the dude from Friday by what do you call a husky?
Wow.
But it was more of a playful bite. But that shit, I still seen stars.
Wow.
It's hard. You get bit in the ass.
Yeah.
I don't think I had no draws on that day either.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was laundry day.
Yeah. I can't imagine that. You haven't you when you like had your court cases and stuff, you had to hire a lawyer,
Yeah.
just some like shady local guy.
No, it all
1,200
depended on how
bucks.
severe the case was.
But you actually had to go to the law office and
Yeah.
talk to a
We
guy.
always had one in the family. I'm
Yeah.
Italian. We got connections.
What was your experience like with him?
I don't know. It was cool. My dad had to paint a guy's car one time to get me out of some shit. Painted a lawyer's son's car. Yeah.
What was the charge?
Obstruction of police justice.
From what?
It was actually that big one when there was a drug chase going from PA to Youngstown. It was this white pickup
Oh yeah,
truck.
you were just in the parking lot.
Yeah, dude. No, I was cutting through. It was snowing. I just made the right and went around the cop. I didn't know they were trying to lay down road spikes, so I
Wow.
interfered everything. I didn't even really. I mean, I seen the truck, but I had enough distance, and it caused a major problem. Like I told you, dude. I went there. I seen one of my friends all shackled up in orange. Like I haven't seen him forever. Like there was like straight up. Weapons charges and all these things in the court, like straight up prisoners in orange and shackles, like 7 of them. And news cameras are there, and they're like, before we get started, we have to take care of the case. And I'm thinking it's probably definitely this murder case right here. And it was me. They called me up,
Oh,
dude,
wow.
for the obstruction, and they thought I was somehow connected to the guy. Like, did the search warrant through the cell phone to see if we text each other back and forth.
Wow. Man, you never ever want to be involved in a lawsuit.
It's crazy though. Look how fast your life could change, in the fact of you
didn't even do shit.
did nothing wrong.
Completely just wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and almost went down for it, dude. It was serious.
Yeah.
And I did go down. I got 6 months of community service. I was like building barns and working with all these Christians like that just ate ham and like.
Let's imagine if you were like you hadn't having to go to jail for that. You go to jail for 6 months, and when you're in jail, you get fucking someone fights you.
Well, they don't fight you. You know what they do down there. A big popular thing in prison is they like to bang you between your thighs. Like
Yeah.
they have you put your legs together and you Vaseline up between your thighs.
Yeah, and all you did was cut through a parking lot.
Yep.
You're just trying to tell the guy, it's like, no, this is a mistake.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you get jumped in,
Yeah.
and then that's how you end up in the system.
I think they call it thigh slapping.
Yeah. I can see why they'd say that.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? Just getting banged between your thighs? 8 different dudes?
Even if you're on you're suing somebody and you did some sort of slip and fall thing, it's never as easy as people say it is.
And then if you get caught, you're going down.
And just like you're in even no matter how much of a home run case you had. I used to work in the law firm. I did personal injury cases. So I was like the guy they talk to on the phone when they call.
Yeah.
I had to take their case. So it was just like all day long was just crazy story after crazy story. And every single one was like, I'd have to print it out and bring it to my boss. And when I handed it to her, I'd always try to tell her what I thought about the case.
Yeah.
Every single one I hand over, I'm like, this guy got fucking screwed. You got to take this case. You got to sue them. Within 10 minutes, she reads the thing. She's like, no, he is screwed, but there's no money in it.
Wow.
Because unless you only get paid for how much work you lost, basically.
Yeah.
So if a sign falls on you and it cuts your arm, and it's like, okay, maybe that guy, his job was dentist. That's deep pockets because you lost a lot of work. You can't be a dentist anymore. But if it's you and your arm gets sliced off, it's like, oh, this guy's a fucking stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, the judge isn't going to give you any money. It's
Wow.
you could still do stand-up. The judge, if I get my arm sliced off, it's like, oh, that guy was half unemployed.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's he gonna? What did he actually lose?
That is crazy.
Then you
when
end up
think
with
about it.
$5,000 or something with no arms.
Hmm.
But everybody who thinks that just people have so much trust in the legal system that they think that if I have a good case, I'm just going to end up getting this crazy check.
Well, the advice a lot of older people gave me with that was get hit by a UPS truck. They say that's like the best one if you're going to get hit by a truck.
They're union.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit by FedEx.
Yeah, they'll guarantee UPS. They own planes and shit. They'll guarantee they'll take care of you.
It looks like I think you don't want to get hit by one of those Amazon trucks.
No.
The vans.
Yeah.
The UPS truck, you're dead. That's just huge.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you're not getting clipped by a UPS truck.
Yeah, but but the cool thing is you get hit by a UPS truck. It's like, you're getting hit by at least somewhat professional person. Like, you see these Amazon drivers. It's like, of course, that person's going to hit somebody.
Yeah.
But if you got somebody, their socks match their shirt.
Yeah, the guy's wearing shorts.
It's like, okay, first off, who's at fault here?
Yeah.
I
don't know. I feel like if I've gotten this far in my life, I've never hired a lawyer or been in like a court case. If I could go the rest of my life with that, I think that's a win right there.
I'll tell you, the only problem is, you're not going to court if you get hit by an Amazon driver, because have you seen these people? You think they're calling the police? They got felonies too.
There's somebody to sue. I can see why it's not like you want to, but it's like, I think just safety. Well, you're not going to sue somebody if you're dead.
What about a post office truck? Would you get hit by one of those, like one of the little white ones?
Those look like it would like bounce off you.
Yeah.
That shit looks flimsy.
It'd probably pay good too.
Yeah.
At least that check will be more on time than the UPS check.
Yeah.
These UPS people, they screw around.
But it's like every time when I was working at that law firm, because like they would take certain cases, and so you'd be following the cases for years. Everybody who sues somebody, they don't realize this is going to take you this could be like 3 years of your life.
Yeah.
Of just daily paperwork. Imagine all this bullshit you go on with your agent.
Yeah.
It's like that every single day, but you're trying to retrace the steps of a ladder falling on your foot 3 years ago.
And so they don't.
By the end, you're just tired of it, and your lawyer somehow ends up taking half the money.
Yep, I had that happen. I had a Honda Civic I bought, nice, off a mechanic, $1,500. Owned this thing for like 3 months. It was beautiful, ran perfect. Some dude pulls out and hits me. Dude, like after 3 years, I got nothing yet. Car totaled out. They took the car, they totaled it. I couldn't keep it if I wanted to. Crazy thing is, it still drove perfectly. I drove it home.
Japanese engineering,
Dude,
man.
I drove it home after the accident. I took a hammer, pounded out the dents, changed the fender. The car was perfect.
Wow.
And they made me give it up. They came and took it.
Well, they don't want you to sell it to somebody.
Yeah.
Because some people would just try to pass that off.
They took it and they crushed it, and I had no car, no money.
Wow.
Dude, it was like 3 years later, I'm calling the lawyer. I'm like, can you get me anything? She goes, yeah, I think I got you $300. I'm like thinking, like, well, no, you couldn't have got that much. And then she's like, no, it's $300 and maybe $67 is what the check comes out to. I'm like, that car was $1,500. I owned it for I was like, what's the point of having you for 3 years?
Yeah.
I waited for this for 3.
Uh-huh.
Then she goes, I'll see what else I can get. Calls me back a week later, $1,100 to settle. I was just like, yeah, I'll take it. Like,
wow.
Then I went to a chiropractor, doctors. I mean, my car was totaled.
Yeah. Well, she probably got like $5,000 off of that somehow.
Yeah, she probably got about $200,000.
Yeah. And she's cutting you out.
Yep, cut me out.
Yeah.
It's not a man's world anymore.
Yeah. Imagine that if you could still have old school justice.
Yeah.
Back like before pre-modern times, when it was just like that same incident happens and it's like, no, me and you, we're going out into the field.
What I would give.
Walk 10 paces and turn.
You know why I want that? Like, I got this gig coming up. I don't know. Well, it might be coming up. But everybody says the dude don't pay people. I'm like, and it's just going to be within the range of $200. He's going to short me, and which is pretty much 20% of the income of the gig. So it's like, what do I do? Do I break one of his fingers? Or what do? You can't take that to small claims court.
Well, the thing is, it's like, yeah, the guy's not going to pay you with broken fingers. So
right.
You just got to prove. You got to fight a different guy. You got to fight like a third party.
Yeah, break their fingers.
You saw what I just did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let that be a warning.
Or you just let it go and you're like, yeah, I got screwed out of $200. Never work for the guy again.
Yeah, I feel like if somebody actually has like a reputation like this where other people have gotten screwed, it's like, yeah, it's probably,
Yeah, I think I'm taking the gig anyway, though, because it's still like I'll still profit $400 or something, but
yeah.
Who knows? I don't know, but it's always that street justice you got to get involved in comedy. It's always they'll pull out 3 chairs. They'll be like, it wasn't sold out. We can only pay you 30%.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you had those chairs in the back.
Well, you just know that like if somebody screws you for $200 cash, it's like that's too small to sue them for.
Right.
And it's like even if it was more money, it's like what am I gonna get a lawyer for this?
Exactly.
All there is to do, the only thing I could do is try to ruin your reputation or like just get into a fist fight.
And then I'm gonna lose.
Well, even if you win, it's like what the guy's not gonna be like, all right, you got me, and then start paying you.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's like you got to almost risk going to jail for life for $200. Would you ever break a dude's
promote that gig?
Yeah. Would you ever break a dude's
Ohio.
finger? Like if you knew there was no cameras and you could do it, if the dude like didn't pay you and you knew you could get away with it.
Maybe. I mean, like I wouldn't feel bad doing it. The thing is just I just don't think that's not gonna lead to you getting paid. That's just gonna lead to him having some sort of revenge coming back on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing with like those mob guys when they borrow money from a loan shark and they come and they beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
It's like they still want their money.
Right.
So it's like they're not actually gonna kill the guy.
Yeah.
And the whole idea of like, oh, this is gonna like build my reputation. No one's gonna want to fuck with me. But it's like, I guess you still didn't get your money.
Yeah.
Yeah. The goal has to be to we gotta think long term here.
Yeah. Don't break the thumbs.
Yeah. Let's promote that gig.
Yeah. So anyways, I do got some gigs coming up. I got March 21st, Akron, Ohio. I'm doing a charity benefit. It's on my Instagram. I should get the address to this one. And then I'm in this won't be out though, but 22nd, will it be out?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're going to where?
I'm going to Japan though, also.
Yeah.
Kyushu. Kyushu. So if you guys are in Kyushu, Japan,
I looked it up. Kyushu is. I got it confused with the city. It's like a region of Japan. It's like the south of Japan.
So it's not even Japan.
It is, but it's like there's like different islands in Japan. It's not like the main island. It's like the South Island.
What do you think I'll experience there?
I think it's not like big city.
No, it's definitely not.
This is like the part of Japan where it's like this is like where my mom's family is from.
That's what I was hoping.
I mean, it's not the countryside though. It's not like Karate Kid.
But do you think I'll find a wife?
You got a day in Japan. I don't think this is gonna be.
You never know.
But I think you will be able to get some good ramen. You should get Japanese curry.
All right.
That's the move.
Japanese curry.
I know you want to get sushi, but I think that's going to be too much of a,
Let's go Japanese curry.
Japanese curry is the most underrated food of all.
And maybe those purple potatoes. Isn't that what you guys eat?
There are purple potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get one of those peaches that comes in like a cloth.
Oh, yeah.
Like it looks like all fancy looking.
Yeah. Do people bow when they give you your food there or no?
They might.
That would be cool.
They hand you things with 2 hands.
Wow.
If you're trying to hand somebody your phone, you hand them,
Honestly, people say you'd be blown away if you go to the McDonald's in Japan, but I don't know if that's Tokyo.
Got a day. You don't go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
If you go,
but is it true people wear like suits there?
Nah, I mean it is McDonald's. It's nicer than American McDonald's just because it's like it's nice, but it's like still McDonald's.
Yeah.
So you're still gonna see other just dumb American guys.
Get some seaweed or something.
Yeah.
I do some stuff. Maybe a little of that aerial yoga where you hang from the sheets.
Hey, you might there's like a dojo in town. You walk into the dojo and you got to fight somebody.
I would do that.
And if you win, it's like, no, I own this dojo now.
I'd want to fight an old Japanese man.
Yeah, that's true.
I just feel like he'd have I'd learn a lot more from fighting him.
Well, he'd be like this tall.
Yeah.
He'd still pull out some sort of moves.
Versus, like, I know I could go down to, like, a studio and fight kids in Japan. Like, they would do that. But it's like, what are you really going to learn from that?
A couple things.
Yeah.
You're going somewhere else, too, right?
No, that's it. Well, yeah, I'm going to Puerto Rico, too, but I've been there a bunch.
Oh, yeah.
St. Thomas.
Let's talk this Puerto Rico gig out.
Puerto Rico. I'll tell you what's up with Puerto Rico is you got to be careful. A lot of these comedians, because we're overnight in places, they tell me, oh, dude, just get on Tinder wherever you go, like a week before. One of them, I don't know. I don't do the dating apps, but where you could put the location in. Tinder. And they go on there like a week before, start swiping. So I was like, I'm going to St. Thomas and all these, St. John's, St. Martin's, all these pretty beaches. I'm like, let me see if I could find somebody. and every single one's trying to hit me with, like we talked about last podcast, the WhatsApp scam.
Oh yeah.
They're like, hit me on WhatsApp, send me $75.
Snapchat and
Yeah,
WhatsApp.
yeah, dude. Snapchat, forget about it.
That is the red flag of the century right there.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens on Snapchat and WhatsApp.
It's like you know it's not a real date.
Yeah.
Send you $75 for your Uber to come see me.
You're sending me a message that's going to disappear on its own.
Right.
And it's like this isn't going to be traceable by the federal authorities.
And you'll see it. So-and-so has cleared the chat. As soon as you start to say,
anytime you see the girl and the picture is like diagonal,
yeah,
she's not taking like the regular selfie, but she's taking it like this. And that's a red flag right there.
or when it's like 5 different girls on one profile, you're
Yeah.
like, what's up with this?
And they're always like, I don't know why, the filter, using the Instagram filter where it gives you like pink ears or something.
Oh, yeah.
It looks so horrible. Hookers always want to do it though.
Yeah, they do.